What about me? What about Keisha?
You think I wanted to kill my best friend? Listen to me. Our blood feud ends now. Or else we're gonna end up in the grave just like Lakeisha, just like Ghost.
Tasha. Fuck.
Look, I love you, Tommy. I never stopped. Don't ever forget how we've been there for each other.
All right, for today's topic, it's gonna be Tommy and Claudia. Cause the thing is with like Tommy and Claudia's, you know, from what we see in the trailer, them both having like guns with each other. I kind of want to expand on that just a little bit more. Where I was like, the thing is, Tommy's relationship with women, it just seems like it never works out. It never works out. And despite everything that happened, like in Pablo 2 Ghost, and you know, tidbits of like the last season where we all thought I thought Tommy was gonna actually take out Tasha, but it didn't happen. It was just like, oh, everybody made up. Now, I understand why at the time a couple of Power fans was pissed off about it, because they was just like, what the fuck? Like, why did it just like, oh, they just talk with each other and that was it. Now, granted, they did have history with each other, which is understandable, but it was just at the time, it was like, yo, Tommy was really in love with Lakeisha, and he saw something when he had a whole engagement ring. He was gonna marry her and everything, like, and then Tasha just took all of that away from him. And then when you look at Claudia, and she was the one to have taken out Liliana at the end of the last season, so it kind of makes you wonder, will Tommy, you know, will he do something about it? Because again, the Power fans was just like, man, what the fuck? Like, everybody was kind of hoping Tommy would have done it, and then it would have been very interesting for a Tommy versus Tariq, which would have set up a very, very interesting story, because Tommy promised Ghost at the end he wouldn't lay a finger on Tariq. And then Tariq have every single motive to come after Tommy after what he did. Because remember, back in the first season, it was his whole purpose was just like, oh, he had to put his mother in witness protection, right, to get her away, because, you know, Tommy was close. He was about to kill her, but then that's when law enforcement came. He was just like, oh shit, like, he had to like bail out on the plan, because, you know, he was going to kill her right there. But, you know, and that was so interesting. But again, they kind of like buried that and was just like, well, no, now Tommy's back on their side again and everything is forgiven. So I'm just like, but I'm hoping that between like Claudia and Tommy, it doesn't be the case. I'm hoping that it's actually going to be, you know, Tommy finds out about it, and then he's just like, all right, I have to come for you. Because keep in mind, everybody in Chicago, everyone's in groups, and everyone is like working on like separate teams and shit, right? So I was like, well, even if like Tommy was to like take out Claudia, he would have to take out Vic, and then he would have to take out Walter Flynn, right? But it's gonna, I want to say leave like it will leave like some sort of hole within the city, because again, everybody's like doing their own thing. And I was like, well, if Tommy does decide to do all of this, right, like monopolize and take out everybody, then he's gonna ultimately have law enforcement that's gonna be waiting right there, like, well, all of the key players is actually gone, and it's just only him left, and they know it's him, so they're like, well, you're the last one, and we have to like do everything in our power to like take you out. So I was just thinking about that as well. I was just like, yo, that actually could be the thing, unless law enforcement gets like a big fish, which could be anybody. They can get in. Well, no, it wouldn't matter, because even if you get that person, you still got more. So it's just like it's gonna be like a constantly never-ending cycle between, like, you know, the drug dealers and kingpins and drug lords versus the cops and law enforcement. So it's gonna be like a whole thing at that time, because again, we will be getting like multiple seasons from like Power Full Force, and we're gonna be seeing like I said before in my previous video, like more characters, more people we haven't seen yet, new people that we're going to be introduced to, maybe past characters that we haven't seen in a while might actually appear in Chicago alongside with Tommy and whoever else that's going to be in Tommy's circle. So again, that's going to be a lot of things to see there, but I'm just hoping that they don't form any sort of like love thing between like Tommy and Claudia, because I don't know, like, let me know in the comment section down below, do y'all even get like some sort of feeling that could actually happen, where I don't know. I'm getting that just a little bit. Like this whole love-hate relationship, and I don't want that. I really don't, because then what it's going to say about Tommy? It's going to say a lot about his character, where it's just like, okay, you have people that work with you, but then if somebody kills them, you know, you're not going to go after them, right? I can understand, because Ghost promised, he made, you know, Tommy promise not to come after Tariq. Okay, that's fine, right? And then Tommy killing Holly for Ghost, because, you know, what she did at the time was wrong, to try to have Ghost get killed so that way they can survive together. But at the same time, she was holding Tommy's baby, which Tommy didn't know about until after her death. So again, he killed her for Ghost, right? And then I wouldn't count Gloria, because Gloria, she was like a fling to Tommy. She was never really that important to Tommy, because mind you, Tommy just got to Chicago. Lakeisha and I think what's his name, Cash, was still on his brain, and he wasn't really focused on like trying to form any sort of like new relationship. He wasn't really thinking about any of that. It was just that, well, come to Chicago, have a little fun, and then that was it. Yeah, he was like a little down about it, but it never really put into his mind like Vic was, because Vic and Gloria had relationship with each other. They was a thing at a time, but you know, now and in the trailer, he's with this new woman, and I don't really see it at her being like how Lakeisha or Holly was. I don't really see it that way. I'm thinking it probably might just be like business and pleasure at the same time. I don't think it's gonna be like any sort of. I could be wrong. Their relationship could, you know, further blossom or whatever. But I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's just gonna be. They're going to have like some sort of like business pleasure type thing. I don't think it's going to be anything significant. But Claudia and Tommy, I don't know. Just the way they moving back in the first season, because he was teaching her some things to try to like, you know, get her fully prepared for the game. I don't know. It's just the way that they moving. To me, I don't know. Like, it's just like I have like this feeling that they probably might do some shit like, well, I mean, you know, Claudia killed Liliana, right? She killed her. She killed her, and then Tommy gonna be pissed about it for like a while, and then all of a sudden, all is gonna be forgiven. And I'm telling you, Power fans, they're not gonna like that. They're gonna be like, what's going on here? Why Tommy not taking his revenge? Why somebody gotta talk to him, talk him down out of it, and then he be like, oh, okay, because Walter Flynn threw his best shot at Tommy in the first season when he got in, what was it, the Irish assassin, like his best guys, his best men for Tommy, and it failed. It completely failed. So I'm just like, okay, Walter Flynn, he may have a couple of tricks up his sleeve, but his best men got taken out. So it's just like, they just kind of like walking around. You could argue that they are target practice. They could be target practice because, again, if they're the first family to go, then you would have others as well, because again, it could be the Mexican cartel. You still got the Serbs, right? You got Gennard and half of CBI, right? But then, well, I don't think Tommy will want to cross that territory, because Gennard is still Diamond's brother, and despite everything, he's still his family. But I don't know, that we will cross that bridge until we see him like in the second season what's really gonna happen. But regardless of Claudia, again, I just don't want them to form like a relationship. I'm getting a sixth sense that they might, but I just don't want them to. I really don't, because after what happened, and you know, Liliana was Tommy's right hand. She was his ride or die. Like, come on. You can't just throw your ride or die underneath the book. Like, come on, man. Come on. That's what I'm saying. They cannot do that. They cannot. Because I'm telling you, they're going to look at Tommy. Power fans going to look at Tommy sideways like, yo, what's going on? Like, you changing your mind all of a sudden when it comes down to a woman. Like, no, he needs to be ruthless. The way how he was with Milan's wife or ex-wife, he needs to be just like that. Like, coming out, guns blazing, taking out anybody, law enforcement, anybody. He needs to exact his revenge. Now, we have to wait and see more, and hopefully we get to see more from Tommy. Because let me know in the comment section down below as well. Like, what do you expect to see from Tommy in this season, in this second season? Like, what more do you expect him to see? Do you expect to see like maybe more of a character development, maybe more growth, right? Will he pull out some more ghost moves, right? Like, let me know, because frankly, I'm a little bit curious as well, like, what type of direction they're gonna go with Tommy. Besides, like, guns blazing and, going off and shit, I'm kind of curious, like, what type of direction they're gonna go forward with him and stuff, because will he actually kill Claudia for revenge, or will he just, like, let it slide and he's just gonna, like, maybe take up business or whatever? Like, even though you killed my right-hand woman, in revenge, I gotta take your business or whatever. If you don't want to die, or if your brother don't want to die, then you hand up everything that you got, right? And we gonna be square. Something like that, but who knows? But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, share, and I catch you all in the next one.